Hi, I'm Steve Sample with Bama Talk. Don't miss a single episode of Bama Talk Show, available now on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app, and on the web at bigbrainsmedia.com.
This is your Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, June the 22nd. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. There's a look at the temperature trace from yesterday at my weather station, and just a very nice daily change to the temperature outside. As we got at my house, we got to just over 90, about 91 degrees for the afternoon high. This morning, temperatures across central Alabama generally back to about the 70-degree mark. Few spots, especially across the Tennessee River Valley, into the 60s, so it doesn't feel too bad out there this morning. There's the Skycam network in Hamilton. We see a few passing high cirrus clouds, it looks like. And then down at the Gulf at Dauphin Island, enjoy this shot of Mobile Bay there, and a few morning low clouds, cumulus clouds it looks like, down around 3,000 feet or so. In the upper atmosphere, we're still dealing with a little bit of this troughiness we've had over East Tennessee, North Georgia, Northeast Alabama for the last couple of days. And there's almost two little lows, actually. One right on the South Carolina coast that the Hurricane Center is watching, but it's not likely to develop into anything. Plus a little bit of a cool pool, a cold pool, but it's not terribly cold, that helped to enhance showers and thunderstorms over East Tennessee and North Georgia yesterday. Temperatures across the country fairly typical for the summer months. The only cool spots really appear to be in the northern Rockies. Weather systems are much further to the north, and therefore that dark green area you see up there in parts of Wisconsin, Minnesota, and the Dakotas are flash flood watches. But down in New Mexico and Colorado, they're dealing with high fire danger as the conditions are very dry. The QPF for the next several days looks like we're going to stay primarily in a showery pattern, especially after today. So it looks like along with that little bit of a low over the southeast coast, we'll see some enhanced rainfall over that area. But keep in mind, this is all showery, therefore not everybody's going to get that kind of rainfall amounts. Storm Prediction Center outlooking a slight risk for parts of Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, South Dakota, and Nebraska for day one. Not much change to that area for day two. Kind of changes shape a little bit, and not much change for day three either. So they're basically under the gun up there. As I mentioned, the National Hurricane Center is mentioning an area of cloudiness off the North Carolina, South Carolina coastline, but that is likely to drift ashore and not likely to develop anything. The 06Z GFS model run, and there's our little closed low aloft. It's very weak, but again, just enough to help to enhance showers and thunderstorms over parts of the southeastern U.S., especially along the coastline, and over East Tennessee and North Georgia. By Sunday, that's beginning to open up and move out. And so once again, we're just, as we see the southerly flow increase at the surface, we should see our moisture increase. So we get into some, I'd call it widely spaced showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon and early evening, the heat of the day, for Sunday. Monday, the little trough moseys on up into Pennsylvania and New York area, and the ridge begins to take hold and become the principal feature in our weather pattern. The ridge is the main feature on Tuesday, stays the main feature on Wednesday. Certainly, we're seeing a number of ripples move across the flow in the westerlies. Then by Thursday, we're beginning to see a change as that fairly strong shortwave that's moving through the western Great Lakes digs in, and then it really digs in on Friday. So this is where the changes begin to occur as we become a little more, a little less under an upper ridge and a lot more under a trough pattern over the eastern half of the country. And that shortwave that you see moving through, say, Lake Michigan area, that shortwave will likely be responsible for a cold front moving into the Ohio River Valley. Now, the big question is whether or not it's going to get to us next weekend. And, of course, by the looks of things, it quite possibly could, as the GFS and the European are actually both showing that that trough is going to sharpen up enough, and that could definitely push a front down into the Tennessee River Valley. And actually, believe it or not, the European at the same time is a little more aggressive with the strength of that trough. So and definitely going to keep the heat in check, and that would certainly be a wonderful pattern for us to see. Now, extending the forecast out into voodoo country, the GFS is keeping that troughiness and certainly sharpens it up even more on the 2nd of July as we head into July, and that certainly does not look hot for us. Maybe hot out over the Intermountain region, over the Rocky Mountains area. And then finally, at the very end of the period, around the 7th of July, we see that the troughiness is beginning to wane, weaken somewhat, and pull off to the northeast as pressures become a good deal higher aloft. Well, that'll do it for this Weather Extreme video. Expect to have the next one posted first thing on Sunday morning. In the meantime, stay tuned to the blog for the latest information on changing weather across the southeastern United States. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Have a great day and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.